Hey friends, let me tell you a little quick story today while I'm out checking some beaver traps, trying to pick up a couple last minute beaver. So I was talking to my good friend Dale Billingsley the other day, and it's important that you guys understand that we're pretty good friends, and if we think something, we say it to each other. That's just the friendship we have, and that's the way we both like it, I think. And anyways, the other day he said, "You know what? I am so tired of you stick dippers." Yeah, that's right. He called me a stick dipper. He said, "You're out there beaver trapping and you put just a little bit of beaver lure on a little bitty stick, and even though it will draw on beaver, you're missing the boat because you're missing a lot of opportunity to catch more beaver." He said. I said, "Well, then what do you do, Dale?" You know. He says, "Well, I put two fingers in there and I slap it on the back there." And I said, "Huh, okay." And we didn't talk much else about it. We kind of went on with the conversation. And I thought about it for a few days, and I got thinking, you know what? There has been several times I've done that, and that's primarily what I did. Is I'll put a stick in there and a little beaver lure, and I'd come back a couple days later, and a coon would have walked up there, and I wouldn't have caught him because of the pan tension I was running, but he would have stole the stick with the smell that I needed to catch the beaver. And so I talked to him again, and I said, Dale, I think you made a pretty good point the other day, and I got telling him, my reasoning about the raccoons being thieves, and he said, yeah, that too, but man, at the end of the day, you just use more lure too. He said everybody's just so timid on the lure. I said, well, Dale, I did try that, right? I tried using more lure, and I went through a 4-ounce bottle at like half my stops that day. I can't afford it. I don't have 55-gallon drum or whatever you got in your little stash of Chips beaver lure. And he said, I know, I get that. So I said, well, what I tried doing, and this is the way I lure now, is I'll put a heavy dose on a stick, and I'll make sure some of it drips in the water and some drips on the way up to the caster mount. And that way, if a raccoon steals that stick, it doesn't matter. He ain't gonna get it all out of that mud. It soaks in a little bit. And on top of that, there's more beaver lure. And he said, well, that works. That I get. That I get, And since I've been doing that, I've been catching quite a few more beaver just because I used more lure, and the raccoons weren't stealing my little stick with my itty bitty beaver lure on it. So, anyways, just a funny thought for the day. Damn old Dell just calls it like it is, a frickin' stick dipper.